The castle test. You know what? Thank you, Mike. That was a labor of love, man. I'm gonna give all credit to a YouTuber. Um, the YouTube channel is That T as in Tom Cat. That TCAT. That TCAT. He does animations, very rudimentary but very interesting and thought-provoking animations, games. But then he makes games, and he has a video series about an escape room, and just this little stick figure who's trying to get out of a room, and you're presented with options in the form of end screen credits. How do you want to try to escape the room? So depending on which one you click, you're now effectively on a choose your own adventure book. And to be honest, I grew up with choose your own adventure books, right? You get, if stop here in the story, if you're going to choose to do this, go to page 67. If you're going to choose to do this, go to page 89. To realize that I could translate something like that into the YouTube medium blew my mind. And so I'll tell you, that ended up being a grand total of 27 videos within one header, I guess you could say, right? Because 26 of those videos are hidden. You can't see them publicly. You have to go through the motions. And if I may, if I can get on this, yeah, and thank you, Beirut. I was just going to say, if I could take a closer look at the analytics for a second, I'll tell you that it's interesting. And on the stream that we did last night, that Chaos Jones hosted, we talked a little bit more about analytics. You got to really pay attention. And what I learned from one particular YouTuber, and I'm trying to remember, it might have been Dan Courier, Creator Fundamentals, but to be honest, it might have been somebody else too. You've got to look at your audience retention tab, because that really tells you how long on average people are watching your video. And you'll learn as you go that video discovery means that someone may find it, but if they're not hooked in the first 30 seconds, they're out of here. So you end up with an average. You might have everybody that watches that 5 or 8 or 10-minute video, but you also have a whole bunch of people that just were like, not really. Okay, fine. Not everything is for everybody, and they bail. So you end up with an average. So let's look at the analytics on that. So for the castle, and if I keep doing this and I look like I'm doing the Rock's eyebrow, it's because I don't want to miss any chat. I apologize if it looks really stupid on camera. So the castle personality test. Right now, that video has 238 views. Okay? If you go down to what would be step 1, which was entering the fictional castle in your mind, of the 238 people that clicked on the personality test, only 71 actually clicked to go through to stage 2, which is the entry. So I don't do fast math in my head, but out of, call it 250 views, 75 people went on to the next step. I can kind of see, in the entryway, 16 people went here, 11 people went here, 12 people went here. Basically, when you get to the next step, of the 71 who made it through to the next place, I lost it. Please hold. 51. Okay? So I lost 20 people at that point. 71 people made it to step 1 and were like, this is really cool, but I don't know. I don't want to go any further. And 20 of them abandoned at that point, right? So my original 250, I'm now down to 50. The next step, talking about what kind of staircase do you see in front of you. Most people chose this grand staircase, 37 people. But of the 51 who came to this point in the video, only 48 continued to move on, right? So I've lost another 4 or 5, call it, something like that. Keep going from the 48. Now here's where you see that people stuck with it. They were like, this is cool. I'm not going to go anywhere, because of the 48 who made it to the window, 46 moved on to the view below in the next one. So you keep going through. Basically, I set up what is the end, which is a return home. I gave an opportunity to say, you've made it all the way through this fictional scenario in your mind, and let's go home and talk about what we discovered about ourselves. The return home tab had 46 arrivals so far. So it really, I guess it gives you pause. You know, if you're working so hard to record and edit and produce videos, it on the surface can feel like a little bit of a punch in the gut, right? You did so much work to cobble this thing together, carefully watching each end screen annotation, going back and testing the links to make sure that of these 27 videos that make up this experiment, that it works smoothly and that you don't risk somebody commenting, hey, your link is broken, that didn't work, it didn't go where it was supposed to, and that makes you feel even worse. So definitely a labor of love, but eye-opening, very eye-opening.